Good morning, students. So today I will be discussing in connection with the operating condition in a lathe, because in the previous session we have discussed at length in connection with the meaning of thread cutting, the forms of thread cutting, and what is the thread cutting procedure, etc., where the selection of the change gears plays a very important role whenever we want to go for the production of the screw threads on the job in a lathe machine. So now today we shall have a discussion in connection with the operating condition. That means whenever we want to carry out any type of operation, like it may be a turning, it may be a thread cutting, it may be a taper turning, or it may be any other operation also. So in those conditions, the operator needs to select the proper parameters, like as you are going to see clearly on the screen there. So there are three important parameters. One is called as a cutting speed, the second one is called as a feed, and the third one is called as the depth of cut. So we are discussing in detail about this with the formulas being used for the calculation of these parameters, especially the cutting speed and the machining time, which we are going to discuss in the subsequent slides. So now you require to understand that the lathe operation is governed by, means whatever the operation is there, any type of operation that is being carried out on a lathe machine, it is necessary to adopt the proper amount of cutting speed, the proper amount of feed, proper amount of depth of cut. Otherwise, it is not possible to get the job of the required dimension, of the required accuracy, etc. So for that purpose, we are going to discuss in detail about these parameters or these operating conditions. So let us define the meaning of a cutting speed. So as you are going to see there, in a lathe for turning operation, because almost all the operations are coming like a turning only, cutting speed is a peripheral speed of the workpiece. This is very, very important. Peripheral speed of the workpiece past the cutting tool. So that means we know very well that in any type of a turning operation, we are going to give a certain depth of cut. Then we start cutting the workpiece by holding a cylindrical job either in a chuck or between the centers, and as it moves, that peripheral speed of the workpiece, whatever the peripheral speed of the workpiece is there, that is being cut from the starting point to the point where we need. So that is expressed in meters per minute. This is very, very important. So now how it is defined or how it is formulated here, it is always expressed in meters per minute. This is a very important point to be noticed, because there is every chance that in examination they may ask some questions based on the problems also. This is very, very important. So cutting speed is equal to pi dn upon 1000 meters per minute. This is the formula. Meters per minute is a cutting speed units. Okay, means how many meters of the cutting tool, means per minute has been removed. That can also be considerable. So now what we require to here understand is, we know very well pi d means, pi d represents the 360 degrees rotation of the workpiece. N represents the speed of the workpiece. Okay, so that is why it is considered as a pi dn, and it is divided by 1000 because we consider the diameter of the workpiece always in millimeters. We are not taking the dimension of the workpiece in meters. So in the formula of cutting speed, so cutting speed is also represented by capital V. Okay, so that V is equal to pi dn upon 1000 meters per minute, where d is the diameter of the workpiece in millimeters and n is the RPM of the workpiece. And what is the rotational speed? So it is clear that as the rotational speed is increased, the cutting speed is directly proportional to the speed of rotation of the workpiece also, and how the movement is given to the workpiece. Okay, so the cutting speed again we are describing with a larger way on this one slide. So D is the diameter in millimeters, N is the revolutions per minute, and the formula is used is V is equal to pi dN upon 1000 meters per minute. So we are going to define the peripheral speed of the workpiece past the cutting tool is equal to cutting speed. This is very, very important. Okay. So the next concept coming is feed, FEED, because whenever I want to cut the material, I require to give the longitudinal feed. Feed is nothing but purely the moment connected to the cutting tool used. That cutting tool can be made to move either parallel to the lathe axis, or it can be made to move perpendicular to the lathe axis. So if it is moved perpendicular to the lathe axis, it is also called as a depth of cut. But when the depth of cut is fixed for a given job, then whatever the feed rate that we are going to give, that is called as a longitudinal feed. And how this feed is expressed? Feed is expressed with respect to the relative motion aspect. That means how much amount of the tool is made to move either parallel or perpendicular to the work axis with respect to rotation of the workpiece is taken into consideration. So that is why you are going to see on the screen the distance of the tool advances for every rotation of the workpiece. So that is why you are going to see the advancement of the tool is given in millimeters there. The advancement of the tool, now the screen is open for you to see there clearly. All of you just see here, I'll be repeating that. So there you are going to see on the screen feed S0, that is the distance of the tool advances for every rotation of the workpiece. Means how much amount of movement is there for the cutting tool for each revolution is taken into consideration, because we know that we are going to define the feed by taking into consideration with respect to the rotation of the workpiece. So here you are going to see very clearly the feed rate being indicated on the screen as an amount of material being removed. So taking that into consideration, as you are going to see here, the D1 is the original diameter, D2 is the machined diameter after machining. So you are also going to see the feed, how it is expressed clearly. So that is why we require to understand here that it is defined as the distance traveled by the cutting tool or the movement of the cutting tool with respect to each revolution of the workpiece. This is very, very important. So the next concept coming related to that only, the feed of the cutting tool in a lathe work is a distance of the tool advances for each revolution of the workpiece. Feed is always expressed in millimeter per revolution, but in some cases the feed is also expressed in millimeter per minute. That means with respect to time also we can give its feed. Means in 1 minute how much is the movement of the cutting tool advancement, or for each revolution how much is the movement. Both can be considerable. So the next concept coming is here is a depth of cut. This is again, as you are going to see very, very clearly, you are also going to see first original diameter D1. The original diameter is D1 and the final diameter is D2. So how is the depth of cut? D1 minus D2 divided by 2. So why it is divided by 2? Because if I do D1 minus D2, it is the difference of diameters. So we want the difference of radius actually. So taking that into consideration, we require to write D1 as the original diameter minus D2 whole, whatever the value is there, then that is divided by 2. Okay, that is called as the depth of cut. So what is the depth of cut? It is a perpendicular distance between the machined surface and the uncut surface of the workpiece. That is what you are going to see clearly on the screen, which is indicated as a small d. Always depth of cut is indicated by a small d. Remember. So what is, or sometimes that value can also be given as a t. Remember that d and t are having the same thing, no difference is there. Don't get confused. In some of the books they have considered depth of cut as t, that is also correct, and in some of the books they have considered the depth of cut as small d. So in order to avoid confusion, you can go for the t also. Anything, whatever you are going to write, you require to write clearly there that it is the difference in diameters divided by 2. That is very, very important. Okay, so the next concept which you are going to see clearly on the screen. So on the screen you are going to see very clearly the operating conditions being expressed taking into consideration all the parameters. So here you are going to see clearly that the workpiece of a certain diameter is being held in a headstock chuck. Okay, and the cutting speed also, it has been indicated by the color there. Okay, then the workpiece is made to rotate. Then the tool is given the depth of cut, which you are going to see clearly. The tool is also given a certain feed rate, and also you are going to see how the chip is, means how the metal is being cut in the form of a chips, and also there is an indication of the machined surface, and also there is an indication of the depth of cut, and also there is an indication of the workpiece. So you are going to see all these things together on a lathe machine by taking into consideration all the operating conditions. This is very, very important that you have to notice it. But one important factor that you require to understand here is our main intention is to cut the material, excess material from the workpiece, and whatever the time that is consumed. Whatever the time that is consumed means what? Suppose if at all I want to reduce the workpiece of diameter from 30 millimeters to 25 millimeters of length, say about 100 mm, that is 10 centimeters, or you can consider 50 centimeters, whatever is there. So now if at all I want to, 50 mm, okay, or 100 mm, I want to go for the cutting of, see what is our consideration? We have considered the original diameter of the workpiece as 25 millimeters, that is D1, capital D1, and I want to reduce it to capital D2 of 20 mm. The difference is 25 and 20. So I am to a length of 100 mm, that is 10 centimeters. Suppose this is the concept. So by taking into consideration such a example, how much time is consumed? How much time is consumed to reduce the diameter from 25 millimeters to 20 millimeters, and if the length of the workpiece is 100 millimeters, that is that is 10 centimeters. Okay, taking that into consideration, we are going to define what is the meaning of a machining time. Finally, we require to calculate the machining time for each operation, and the total machining time we have to add. So that means, suppose if any of the job is having all the operations, it is having a facing operation, it is having a rough turning, fine turning it is having, then it is having grooving, or it may be having a reaming, or it may be having the drilling like this, or thread cutting, taper turning. All these operations are enlisted, and how much time is consumed for each operation, how many minutes or how many seconds, okay, all this is added. So that is called as the overall machining time to produce a job. But in general, okay, on what factors this machining time depends, so that we are discussing as per the given screen there. It is the time required to machine a component is called as a machine time. That is what I have told. So if at all I want to produce any job, how much time is spent in producing that job, that is called as the machining time. So machining time depends upon what? The size of the workpiece. What is the size of the work? Because size of the work decides. As larger the diameter, more, or larger the length, more the time consumed. So that is why it depends upon size of the workpiece and amount of material to be removed, how much amount of material we are going to remove, and the operating condition. So that means there are three important factors which affect the machining time. The first one is the size of the workpiece. So whenever we are going to speak about the size of the workpiece, we require to consider what is the diameter of the workpiece and what is the length of the workpiece. Okay, That is the first criteria. And how much amount of material you are removing? That amount of material removed based on the number of operations that we are going to carry out on a given job or a workpiece. So also it depends upon the operating conditions, because it depends upon the speed, it depends upon the feed, and it depends upon the depth of cut. Okay, so now that means we know very well that machining time depends upon all these factors. So considering the feed and speed, okay, we can calculate F into N, how much time is spent. So that is what we are going to discuss in the next slide. It gives the distance that the tool moves, F into N, in 1 minute. So what is this F into N? Just I'll tell you, F is a feed in millimeter per revolution. Okay, here as you are going to see clearly on the screen, small f indicates the feed of the workpiece in millimeter per revolution multiplied by n rpm, that means millimeter per revolution into revolution per minute. So I am going to get what? Millimeter per minute. In 1 minute, okay, I can calculate, because I want the time in 1 minute, how much amount of material is removed, because that basically depends on the feed rate. Because once the depth of cut is fixed, I require to consider what? Feed rate only with respect to the revolution of the workpiece. Hence, for a distance L, now what is the total distance L? The time required for one complete cut T in 1 minute is given by T is equal to L divided by F into N, because in 1 minute the distance traveled is F into N. We know how much is the total length of the workpiece. So that is why the time required is given by the formula T is equal to L, where L represents the total length of the workpiece divided by F into N in 1 minute. So that gives us how much amount of minutes we are going to get. Okay, that is very, very important. So you require to remember here, just I have opened now, I'll just read it out. It gives the distance that the tool moves, F into N in millimeters in 1 minute. Hence, for a distance L, the time required for one complete cut T in minute is given by T is equal to L divided by F into N, because L is the total length of the workpiece, F into N represents millimeter per minute. So you are going to see length in millimeter divided by millimeter per minute. You are going to get the machining time for one cut. Like this, how many cuts are there? You have to calculate, then you have to add up all these things. So alternative, if F is the feed of the job per revolution expressed in millimeter per revolution, and L is the length of the job in millimeters, the number of revolutions of the job required for a complete cut will be L divided by F. How many revolutions are required means I have to calculate what is the length divided by F. So that means what? It is possible to calculate how many rotations of the job required. Also you can calculate. Okay, that is also a concept, but our intention is to see that how we are going to calculate the machining time. Okay, that is very, very important here. If the RPM of the workpiece is N, okay, because we know always we are going to express revolutions per minute in N only, the time taken to revolve the job through number of revolution for a complete cut, okay, will be L by F. How many revolutions are required? Just we have calculated. Okay, therefore time taken for a complete cut is given by L divided by F into N. That is very, very important minutes, the formula which I have already discussed in length in connection with the previous slides. So now let us have a simple problem. Just I will read out, but please solve these problems in a separate notebook as a notes and keep it ready even to appear for the first IA test. We don't know how we are going to conduct. It may be online or it may be offline or it may be objective type, whatever may be there. Please prepare whatever in the slides which I have sent. I have also binded the syllabus. Just note down in the presentations and start writing the notes if you are not yet started. We don't know what you are going to do and how you are going to spend the time every day. Okay, because maximum students are remaining absent and not attending the classes regularly. A mild steel rod having 50 diameter, the diameter of the rod, steel rod or the steel shaft, whatever is there, is 50 millimeters. We know that is capital D. Diameter and 500 length. Length is L, 500 millimeter, to be turned on a lathe. So we want to turn, that means we want to reduce the diameter of a workpiece from 50 to a certain millimeters, which I am going to read there. Determine the machining time to reduce the rod to 45 millimeter in one pass. Only in one pass he is asking, when the cutting speed is 30 meters per minute and a feed of 0.7 millimeter per revolution is used. So how many parameters have been given? As you are going to see clearly on the screen in the given data there, capital D is equal to 50 millimeters. That means the diameter of the job given is 50 millimeters. Okay. The next one is length of the workpiece is given as 500 that is the length. V is equal to, cutting speed V is given as 30 meters per minute and F feed is given as 0.7 millimeter per revolution. So let us calculate V. Why we have to calculate, let us calculate N, because we don't know what is the RPM. Without knowing the RPM, I cannot calculate the machining time, as you are going to see. If at all I want to calculate this machining time, then I require to have the value of N there. Without calculating the value of N, I cannot find out what is the machining time. So for that purpose, we require to understand here that V is equal to pi dn upon 1000 meters per minute formula is used, where V is known to us, D is 50 millimeters, and you can calculate by calculation. Please use a calculator and find out, okay, in your notebook, when V is equal to pi dn upon 1000, therefore N is equal to 100 into 1000 into V divided by pi into D. Next step. So substitute all the values, you are going to get N as 191 RPM. This is very, very important. So once you calculate that, then I am sure it is possible for you to note down the machining time, because once you know depth of cut is, you can calculate what is the feed rate, you know the length, find out the depth of cut, then you can directly calculate what is T, then you can L is known, N is known, and F is known. So once that all is known, you can calculate what is the value of machining time for one complete cut. Okay. So now one more important process which we have not discussed in the previous session in connection with, though we have considered this thread cutting procedure, we concentrated basically on the external thread cutting. So whenever I want to go for the internal thread cutting, so how to do that? Because the internal thread cutting is an operation where either we can hold, that means we can mount the required size tap which is having the threads on its peripheral surface, which is mounted on a tailstock spindle and used for what? And it is pushed against the rotating workpiece, which is held in a headstock chuck. That is one procedure. And one more procedure is there by holding the cutting tool in a boring bar. So that is what we are going to discuss here. So that means there are two important methods for production of internal threads on a hollow workpiece, because in the previous session we have discussed about the external thread cutting operation. So now we are going to discuss about the internal thread cutting process, which you need to understand. So as shown in the figure, first drill or bore the workpiece to be threaded to the minor diameter of the thread. This is very, very important. There are two important diameters which already discussed. Okay, one is the minor diameter. Always we require to cut the hollow workpiece. That means we require to drill a hole to the minor diameter of the thread which we want to produce first. That is the first step. Select a proper type or profile of a cutting tool that we have already discussed. Whether you want to go for the production of V threads, V profile is needed, square threads, square profile is needed, like that, and check the same with a center gauge. As you are going to see the center gauge on the right side here, that is used for checking your selection of the tool here. That is used for the selection of a tool. This is called as a center gauge for the checking purpose. This is very, very important. Okay. Select the proper type or profile of a cutting tool and check the same with the center gauge. Set the cutting tool to the tailstock center height. We require to set this one to the tailstock center height. Otherwise, what happens? There is eccentricity of the threads will be taking place. It has to be set in that way. Select the change gears, as you know very well, or the required driver and driven gears by using that formula. Driver gear divided by driven gear is equal to pitch of the workpiece divided by pitch of the lead screw. Using that formula, you have to calculate the change gears of the desired teeth to cut the required pitch of the internal threads. This is very, very important. So the next concept coming is, I am continuing with that. Engage the carriage with the lead screw through a lead screw and a nut mechanism. The procedure remains same. Try to understand what procedure we have adopted for external thread cutting. It remains same. Only the holding of the cutting tool perfectly, which is going to be required to produce the internal threads. So that has to be done properly. Okay. The tool can be fed inward either radially, means inside, okay, or at an angle of 29 degrees. This is a standard angle by swiveling the compound rest as shown in the figure. You are going to see clearly here the figure, the compound rest and also the thread cutting operations which is being carried out here, okay, by holding the boring bar along with the cutting tool. Okay, the remaining procedure, there is no difference. You need to understand it correctly. The tool can be fed inward, means inside the hollow workpiece, radially or at an angle of 29 degrees by swiveling the compound rest as shown in the figure. Give the small depth of cut by using the cross slide. Okay, the cut is made on the entire internal surface till the tool reaches the end of the workpiece and the carriage is disengaged. The process remains same. It has to go to the entire depth. To what depth? That means, to what length of the hollow workpiece on which we want to go for the internal thread cutting process. Till that the tool starts moving, then it has to be disengaged and it has to be made to come out. Okay, even all these things you are going to learn practically in a machine shop also. The tool is pulled out of the workpiece and brought to the starting point to give a fresh cut, and the process is repeated till full depth of thread is reached. So this is very, very important. The tool is pulled out of the workpiece and brought to the starting point to give fresh cut, and the process is repeated till full depth of thread is reached. So this has to be continued. The process almost remains same. Only the difference, you need to understand how to draw the sketch. Sketch drawing is very, very important in the examinations. Though they may ask, you have to write whatever the steps I have written in the same way, and you have to be ready to write the same points in the examinations also. Now let us have an understanding about the frequently asked questions. These are very, very important from the examination point of view, expected to come in the examinations. The first question that comes is, explain the process of cutting internal threads in a lathe. That just I have discussed. Explain the terms of cutting speed, feed and depth of cut with formula. You have to write the formula, you have to define it, and you have to write the units of individual terms which are present in the formulas. Explain about the machining time in a lathe. So how you are going to calculate the machining time, what is its formula, what are its units, all that you require to understand and write them in a separate notebook. So along with this, I am also going to attach one of the videos for better understanding about the internal thread cutting process or even external if possible, so that you can have a view of that. Okay, and you require almost we are on the verge, I think on the finishing of the portions now almost. So that is why you please prepare for the first and second chapter okay, and ready to appear for the first internal IA. So we have not yet decided the dates, so let us hope that the college will reopen immediately. Okay, so with this, today I am going to finish off my presentation. Okay, thank you.
We want to set the lever position of. First see the gate chart. As per the gate chart, we want to set the lever position. Red is the HS thread, green is the MM thread. Now we are doing the pitch for 2.5. As per the 2.5, we want to set the lever position AC. Here we have set at A, here we have set at C. Next see the number. We want to set the number for 4. Just set the number for 4. Here one arrow mark is there, that 4 wants to coincide with the arrow mark. Once we have set it means just engage this lever, and here feed is there, thread is there. Change it for just thread cutting side. Next coming from here, RH is there, LH is there. RH means right hand thread, LH means left hand thread. Just now we are doing for right hand thread. Just change it for right hand side and reduce the RPM. Why means when we are doing the thread cutting, the carriage moves fastly means we cannot make the finishing off. That's why set the RPM for 90 RPM. Set the lever position for A, E. Just it is set in A, just set this for E. Now see, now RPM is reduced. Start. When we make the internal thread cutting, we want to use the internal thread cutting. It is the internal thread cutting tool. This is the carbide tip tool. Now we are doing the internal threads. Just observe this one. First do the as required dimension. Once the required dimension is finished means set the tool and finish it. See, here giving the depth form, the crash slide itself, feed moves automatically. Just observe how the thread makes. This is first internal thread cutting. Here the distance carefully, here we want to maintain the distance. Just observe that one, the thread is providing on the workpiece itself. The pitch is 2.5. Now off the machine, give the depth of cut from in, crash slide itself little bit on the machine. Up to 2.5 we want to give the depth of cut. This is the internal thread cutting operation. Just observe this one. This is the internal thread cutting. The pitch is 2.5.